Well, ladies and gentlemen, here we are once again with more Fullmetal Alchemist. This is, I know what you're saying. Why not Brotherhood? Here's the thing. Brotherhood came out after the original Fullmetal Alchemist. I want Heather to experience what I got, or the true fan Fullmetal Alchemist experience, because this is what came out first. Now, I know you can say, oh, but Brotherhood's so much better. It may very well be in your mind. To me, I hold them both in equal esteem. I'm sorry. Okay?
I would rather see this one, and then if I like it, watch Brotherhood.
Okay.
I wouldn't. I like to do things in order. So.
Yeah. Same here. I'm like things chronologically in a lot of ways.
Except we're doing Star Wars in machete order.
Which that's recommended. That's recommended by most fans out there. This is more subjective, I guess, because. And I know a lot of you out there are also saying, "Oh, why are you also doing this? Why are you doing the dub instead of the sub?" Here's the thing, guys. Heather's eyesight is not the best right now.
Medication issues. They will be resolved.
Hopefully, yeah. Hopefully here
Very
soon they will be resolved. So, Fullmetal Alchemist. The first episode, you actually like this better than you like Cowboy Bebop.
Very much so.
It interests you a lot more.
Yeah. I'm still on the fence about it, but definitely more than Cowboy Bebop.
Okay. So, Fullmetal Alchemist, that's the reason why I'm doing this in this order, is because this is, in all honesty, the best order I can find. Mm-hmm. Because watching this first, getting the initial response from this, and then going to Brotherhood, I have found to be the best. That's how everything worked for me. Mm-hmm. And I am completely... I'm in bliss with both of these anime. I love both of them very much. They're easily in my top 10, both of them. And if you have a varying opinion on that, I'm sorry. That's just how I feel. It doesn't mean that your opinion's invalid.
I mean, at the end of the day, this is Heather hasn't seen, and Heather's going to watch what Heather wants to watch.
Exactly.
So you can make suggestions, and you can not like what we're watching. That's totally fine. You're allowed to do whatever you want.
Comments down below.
But I'm also going to do what I want. Because if I'm not interested, you don't want to see my reaction to it. It's going to be dumb.
Fair enough.
Because if I'm not interested, I'll zone out. I'm not going to have anything to say about it. We don't have a show.
There you go. All right. So Fullmetal Alchemist, episode 2, Body of the Sanctioned. Let's get in there.
I see. Now I understand you, Elric. You crossed the line. You did what is strictly forbidden. Well, that does answer a riddle. Why the military would give a pup like you such a stern name. Full metal. But it's literal. Sea rogues. Alchemists forbid their own from transforming lead into gold. But there's one practice more taboo. A technique forbidden by man and nature itself. Alchemy. On human souls. You stepped on the toes of God!
You don't know the story.
Al.
But we just wanted...
I'd label that a failure, all right. Al lost his whole body, and I lost an arm and a leg. I ignored every signpost because I was reckless, and I wanted it bad enough.
We will ask one more time. Please give us the stone.
You are damned, Stake Alchemist. May the wrath of God fall upon your head. Sinners!
Effective. Wall.
Close call. Can't find a door. Make your own.
After them, now!
Why do they treat us like we're evil? If we really wanted the stone at all cost, we would have taken it by now.
People of Lior, this evening a pair of unbelievers tried to take the life of the great prophet Cornello.
He's hungry.
What kind of depraved souls are you? How could you go after the prophet?
We welcomed you here. You made us believe you were good.
Look, lady, I never asked you to believe anything. That's your priest. He's a phony. He's just using alchemy. Ow!
No.
Give that back!
So this is the official pocket watch of the State Alchemist. Never seen one close. It's the reason you can do alchemy without a transmutation circle, isn't it? It amplifies all of your work. I think you'll be quite harmless without it.
Maniacal laugh. Maniacal laugh. I've actually wondered what happens after they're done with their maniacal laugh. Everyone just stands there. It's just like,
Oh, yeah.
How can I sleep after last
They're just like,
Where's the bell?
Where's the bell? Sneaky, 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 sneaky. Poor girl. She just wants to see the ones she loves again.
You shouldn't have acted against me, Rose. You've fallen out of the Sun God's favor. Give the real Kane my best.
I guess I don't need to tell you it's dangerous here. Come on.
You know what a chimera is, right?
No.
It's a mix. It's a mixing of different animals. Like they literally fuse them together into one consciousness.
As long as I'm
Pretty
bringing them
much.
happiness, what do they
Pretty
care where
much
it comes
a
from?
creature that's constantly in pain.
I should get started. It's about time.
What? Is it the money you're after?
Edward?
Oh, I can get all the money I want from the offerings. But you think too small. I'm making believers who would gladly throw away their very lives in my name. Mark my words. In a few years, I'll have a following large enough to tear this country apart and rebuild it in my name!
Oh, Lord.
Makes no difference to me.
What?
After all, there's no real way to bring people back to life, right? Once you cut me down, I'm gone for good.
And why would a king risk his life for the sake of his mindless pawns? Wait a second. What? No, my children, he lies! Don't believe him!
Oh, and by the way, I don't get my skills from a pocket watch.
The bill has come due, and they are here to collect. The price?
Father, that
Your
broadcast,
ass.
I don't understand. Tell us what's going on.
You didn't fool me with that little display down there. Without this, the only alchemy you can perform is to your own metal arm.
Know what? You're not the only one who can't stand doubters, Preach.
I don't believe it. Not even the Philosopher's Stone can move something as big as that.
Well, what do you got to say now, holy man?
What the? It's recoiling.
He used it too much.
Imitation?
Father Cornello gave us hope. What right did you have to take that away? With him, we believed we could do anything, even bring back the dead. We're a desert village. We had nothing before that.
You're saying we should have just let everything go on as it was? You've got a good, strong pair of legs, Rose. You should get up and use them.
Brother was trying to help you. He just doesn't always handle things well.
Just go away, would you?
You can still believe and hope, Rose. I still do.
Who are you really? What are you after?
Come on, Lust. Isn't it time you let me eat the old preacher?
He was hungry.
Hey, sometimes you just gotta eat.
Where'd that miserable preach run off to?
I knew it, Cornello. I knew someone who gave us so many joys couldn't be bad.
There's...
Good, Envy. I'm sorry, but we'll have to ask you to keep that phone for a little while.
So you don't repeat our mistakes. We were born and raised in a small village east of Central named Resendel. That's where it all began.
Resendel.
Mom, look!
What you got there?
See?
In those days, we really believed that to be the world's one and only truth.
Yep. I like this show.
See? I figured you would. So, okay. The ones who are, the big dude that ate Cornello, the woman, and the imitation of Cornello. What do you think they are?
No idea.
All in good time. All in due time, it'll be answered. But I will say this: in life, there are always consequences for your actions.
Yep.
No matter what you do, no matter what,
whether they're good consequences or bad consequences, something always happens.
Exactly. I mean, every action has a reaction, and sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. Sometimes nothing happens at all at first, but eventually something does rear its head of a positive or a negative benefit. And here's something I will say about the religious context that they're going over in this. For this, it's a religious oligarchy. And what I mean by that is, religion, to me, has always been something that people should not be forced into, something that people should find on their own.
It's definitely a personal decision.
Yes. I mean,
like, I was raised Christian, but I didn't become Christian until I was 18 or 19.
Yeah, you found your way. I mean, I went through the same...
And I strayed first.
Yeah, I had a crisis of faith when I was 17 after my grandfather died, because my grandfather, one of the kindest, one of the most amazing individuals anyone I wish I could have introduced him to a lot of my friends and family members, or like new family members as well, because I think he would have liked them. But he was one of the nice, like, very soft spoken, never raised his voice, always had the best lessons to take. Like him and my dad taught me so much about how to repair things, how to fix stuff around the house, how to grow, how to hold your head high and keep looking forward to the next day, because your life life is the most important thing you have in this world, and it's imperative you do not waste it, because you only get one chance at it. And when I was 17, it was about a few weeks after I found out, we found out that he was sick. Cancer.
Yeah.
The one thing I will say about him, he had one vice: chewing tobacco. Red Man specifically. Red Man chewing tobacco. Pretty much all his adult life. That's all he did. He dipped. And then he had trouble breathing one day when he was working. He just retired too. He just retired about a few months earlier. He gotten the money and he bought this nice stretch of land over in this area, and he bought a little side road convenience store that he wanted to open up and just sell stuff. He had trouble breathing when they were loading stuff. He was always physically capable, even into his 60s. And to see him having trouble breathing, it was scary for us, because this guy fell off of a 3-story storage building, fell from the 3rd story, and hit a shop vac on the way down in the middle of his back. 2 days later, he walked out of the hospital.
Jeez.
That is a tough old man. And he couldn't breathe. So we took him to the hospital, and turns out there was a mass in his throat that had formed on this side behind his jugular. They did a CAT scan, and it was 100% cancerous. 2 weeks later, he was gone. 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It progressed
That's quick.
ultra fast. And it happened so fast. And I thought to myself, why would God do this? Why would God take him away at 68 after working his entire life to ensure that his family always had food on the table, a roof over their heads, beds to sleep in? Why now? Why not let him have years to himself to spend with his family, to watch his great-grandchildren grow up? But eventually, I just started questioning everything, and I threw everything away. Like, all my faith that I had as a kid. Like, I used to love going to church as a kid. I used to love going to Sunday school. I used to love singing. I was in the choir. As a matter of fact, the church that we played at actually had a live band, and I was actually apprenticing there, like wanting to learn how to play drums and play guitar.
Yeah.
And I never got into playing drums, but I got into playing guitar. And then when he passed away, I didn't set foot in a church for several years. I told my dad about this, and my dad said he had a similar crisis of faith, but he didn't like throw everything away. And then a few years later, I was talking to my grandmother. I was in a really bad state, and I talked to her, and I asked, why would God do that? Why would God take him away? Why didn't God give him a chance to be happy? She looked at me, and she said, he was happy. What are you talking about? And I said, what do you mean? Every day that he came home and he saw that his family was in good spirits, and always had what they needed, never had to start. And then she told me about everything he went through when he was a kid. The stuff that he had to do, and the stuff that was hard for him. And it made me realize that his entire life, he was happy because he had people around him that he could actually talk to, people that he could actually depend on. Like, I realized it at first how many people came to his funeral. Keep in mind, this is a small town of a population of about 1,000, St. Paul, Virginia. Almost 600 people showed up to his funeral.
That's good.
And, like, people from, like, years and years ago. That people that I'd never met before, but yet had vivid memories of him. And everything that he'd done throughout his life. And, you see, religion... A lot of people want to blame religion for all the world's problems. I hate to tell you, but that's not how it works. Ideas can cause terrible things to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, the biggest mass murderings throughout history, Mao and Stalin. I mean, Mao killed almost 75 million people. Stalin killed over 20 million people, and they were both like bona fide atheists, and they killed a lot of these people because, I mean, Mao stole grain from farmers out in the sticks who were Buddhist. Millions upon millions of people died from starvation, all because they wouldn't commit to being atheists. all because they didn't want to throw away their religion. Same thing for Stalin. Stalin destroyed thousands and thousands of churches, and the ones he didn't destroy, he converted them into makeshift hospitals that were understaffed and undersupplied. I mean, the
thing is, if you want to be atheist, that's cool. If you want to be Christian, that's cool. If you want to be a Buddhist or a Hindu, whatever you want to do is exactly what you should do.
Well, there was actually a conversation I had with somebody. He was talking about, how he believed Muslims were inherently evil. And I'm like, okay, hold on a second. So, Osama bin Laden, he's Muslim. Gaddafi, he's Muslim. You know who else is Muslim? Shaquille O'Neal, probably one of the greatest basketball players of all time and one of the nicest people. Ice Cube, the rapper, he's Muslim.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Cat Stevens, the musical artist, he converted to Islam in the mid-'70s, and he's one of the nicest people out there. And I mean, honestly, and the same thing on the Christian side. Fred Phelps was a Christian. He believed, he was a Calvinist, but overall he was a Christian.
If you're gonna be a bad person, you're gonna be a bad person no matter what you believe.
Yeah.
I mean, definitely your ideas and beliefs influence what bad thing you would do. Like, if you believe that a certain thing is wrong and you're an evil person, of course your thing is going to be about that thing. But just any of these people that were saying, oh, they're doing this because they're Muslim, the same thing could happen if they had been Christian.
Exactly. I mean, everybody wants to blame the Spanish Inquisition and the Spanish Inquisition and the Crusades are the worst things that happened throughout history. No, I'm sorry. The Crusades were done as a reaction to the spread of Islam that took Israel and took a lot of the Holy Land. And keep in mind, a lot of people have died throughout history for religion, for ideals, for power, for anything. And one thing you need to just remember about all this is just be a basically good human being. I mean, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. I mean, do more for others than you do for yourself. I mean,
if you want respect, give people respect.
Yeah, I always treat everybody I meet with initial respect. I always have that initial level of respect.
I'm nice to everyone until they give me a reason not to be.
Yeah, exactly. I'm the same way. And I will say this about, there's been atrocities carried out throughout history for various ideals and everything, but who you are, whether you're a Christian, a Muslim, or an atheist, whatever you believe, then honestly, the life you lead is yours, and it is up to you to do the best you can to just live.
I mean, yeah, at the end of the day,
that's the basics.
You want to, and if you're doing something that doesn't make you happy, then why are you doing it?
Exactly.
You want to live to be happy and believe what you want to believe. Whatever makes you happy, just do what you want to do.
Yeah. Absolutely.
As long as you're not hurting anyone else, there's no reason you shouldn't.
100%. I agree.
This was Fullmetal Alchemist.
No. Well, here's one thing about Fullmetal Alchemist you're going to learn. There's a lot of deep topics here that you are going to be exposed to.
Well, right away we got a religion versus science.
Well, science does not kill religion like so many people want to claim.
I mean, I totally, even though I'm Christian, believe science.
Oh, no. No. Here's the one thing. People want to claim all Christians are like anti-science. A lot of the greatest scientific discoveries throughout the 18th, 19th, and 20th century have been carried out by people who are Christians. I mean,
to be fair, with the modern day, people think that, all Christians think that being gay isn't okay. I actually don't even believe being gay is a sin based on what I've read in my Bible. I don't know what the hell these other people are reading.
Here's the thing. There's things that contradict in the Bible, and I think that's because of translations throughout history have left things up to interpretation however you want to perceive them.
Well, I've been keeping this argument off the channel, but essentially the Old Testament was wiped out
By the New Testament.
And the only place where it says you can't be gay is in the Old Testament. In the New Testament, the actual only rule we have to follow is to love each other like God loves us, which is unconditionally. So really, if that's the only rule we're following anymore, I don't know what the fuck all this fighting is about, because I thought we were supposed to just be loving each other, but okay.
Well, yeah, you're supposed to, but we as human beings, we're
technically
tempted by...
the 10 Commandments isn't even our shit anymore.
Well, okay, my basics for the whole thing is I follow the 10 Commandments and the Word of Christ, because to me that's the closest thing to the Word of God you can get. Now, the 10 Commandments over time, I follow more of the words of Christ anyway. I mean, personally, because Christ was never against homosexuality. He was never against...
Exactly.
He was never against it. I mean, like, here's one thing that I will say. People are afraid of what is different. That's just how we are as human beings. I mean, that's how our brains work.
If you are uncomfortable by someone being gay, don't hide behind your religion to make an excuse for it, because you're making me look bad.
You're making all Christians look bad.
And I am so sick of people, like, being afraid to tell people I'm Christian because they're going to think I don't love them.
Yeah, I'm the same way. It's just like whenever I say I'm an American, like, if you say I'm an American in a foreign country, you're pretty much just like looked at like you're a pig and you only want to kill everybody in war and
like I'm all about the diversity, like I totally just love everyone until, like I said, unless they give me a good reason not to. I'm nice to everyone. But if some people, if you tell them you're Christian, they're just like, oh, well, I can't tell them I'm gay, or we can't be friends because I'm gay.
No.
And I don't want anyone to feel like that. I love you
exactly.
anyway.
It was whenever I became friends with Tommy and Shane, I met Tommy at church. Tommy went to church with me.
That is the saddest thing recently that I've been told by gay people in the community, is that they would like to go to church, but they aren't welcome anywhere.
Okay, no. All
and
right.
If you would not welcome a gay person into your church, then you need to shut down your fucking church, because anyone is welcome in a church.
Yes. God welcomes all of his children. Whether in your eyes they're living in sin, in God's eyes they may not be.
They aren't.
Because in God's eyes...
I'll answer that.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying, because you can't speak for God. You can only speak for yourself. Don't say that you're don't say, like Cornello was saying in this, that he was speaking for God. No. In all honesty, you can truly only speak for yourself. Like, if you feel God is telling you to do something, but yet it goes against all of God's teachings, like, why should you kill somebody because God told you so? That doesn't make any sense to me.
I hate the modern world.
No, I hate.
I mean, the world's actually quite beautiful. I say that, but I don't mean it.
Well, parts of society I just detest. Parts of society I cannot stand, because it's just like...
There's so much misunderstanding.
Well, there's misinformation being spread in every direction. There's so many people out there reading false articles from shit like BuzzFeed.
Yeah, please stop clicking on something on Facebook and then believing it.
Yeah, exactly. Facebook. There's a lot of shit going around about
Facebook articles,
Facebook.
holy shit.
Oh my god.
They're never right.
No, they're not. Like, I looked at one the other day. It talked about, how America is, the most racist place on planet Earth, and I'm like, source? Where's the source? No source?
There's never sources.
Okay, this is just your opinion. Don't say that this is factually accurate, but yet it's just your opinion. Okay?
Regardless, this is a long video again.
Yes.
This week,
41 minutes.
So we are recording in advance this week due to things that have been announced in a different video.
Yes.
Game of Thrones episode 3, and also I think there will be a short video from Nate explaining why we had to record so much in advance.
Yeah.
So you'll notice that all of these videos, we're in a talkative mood tonight.
Well, it's good to get this stuff out. It's good to talk about this stuff, because
I've been quiet recently, so I think I'm just starting to talk a little more.
That's good. I'm glad that you're talking more.
I've been very quiet.
Yeah.
It's kind of been painful to be around me.
Hey,
I've been an asshole recently.
Fist bump. Boom. There you go.
I've been like this huge asshole recently.
Nah.
And just not speaking or not participating in the recordings and streams because I just don't have anything to say.
Well, you feel like you don't have anything to say, and honestly, if there's moments where you feel like that, then you shouldn't force yourself to say something. Instead, whenever you feel the need to say something, do it. Because whatever you say, you're not going to surprise. I mean, hell, Heather, you could say, hold on, let me peel my face off. I'm actually an alien. I wouldn't be surprised anymore.
Things come out of my mouth and Nate's just like...
No, honestly, I have heard... Okay. I heard someone confess to me the other day, a person I've known my entire life. I was like, dude, I got to tell you something. And I'm like, what's up, dude? He's like, I'm into incest porn. And I'm like, damn.
I mean, that's fine, but why is he telling you that?
Well, me and him, we've been friends for a long time, and he always talks to me
the
whenever...
guys talk about this? Is this a conversation guys have?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, we've known each other for years, and okay, here's the thing. We date back, in terms of friends, we date back to 4th grade. I've known him since the 4th grade.
I just don't know that I've ever talked about which kind of porn. Well, I'm asexual, but
well, yeah,
before
that's the kicker.
Back in the day when I wasn't.
Well, he's okay. As it was put in high school, as I said about this dude in high school, he is a quote unquote stud muffin, as some of the women called him, because A, he was on the football team. B, he looked. I mean, honestly, he's got like a model face. Like, you know, he's got like the chiseled chin. He's got the big beautiful eyes and all that a lot of women look for, and he was muscular. He had like a lot of women find that appealing. I know you personally don't find like muscle bound dudes appealing.
I'm not about it.
No, you're into the slender.
I made a joke yesterday at lunch with my dad. I was like, if he can lift more than 50 pounds, I don't want him.
Oh God.
And that's not true at all. But it's just like it was just an over exaggeration of how I don't like the big muscled guys.
You're not into like.
If you can tell me you bench like 300 pounds, I'm probably gonna turn around and walk out. Like.
Okay, actually, there was a guy one time, he wouldn't stop bragging about how much he could bench press. I was just like, and I just like got sick and tired of hearing him say this shit. I was like, all right, bro, I just need to clarify one more time. How much can you bench? He's like, I bench about 250, and I'm like, try bench pressing my dick. How's that sound? And then he was just like, and I was just like, there we go. All right, fuck off. And, no, honestly, people are braggadocious, and I can't stand being around them sometimes.
I don't care how much you can bench.
I don't either. I mean, honestly, I only care if you're a cool person. Like, I know dudes that are muscle bound that are like big anime fans. Like, there's a guy I know, Tatali, or like,
those are some of my favorite friends. The people that are like really buff, and then they're like, I love Sword Art Online. Like, I just
really,
they're so fun. Like, they're always these really good guys. I don't know why.
No. Honestly,
like, not for dating or anything, but like just as a friend. Yeah,
fun to hang out with.
I worked with some before, and I always was just like, man, you're so fucking cool. Like, you go to the gym because you like it, and you're not like a douchebag about it.
Actually, there was a guy I used to hang out with at a gym I used to go to back in like when in my mid-20s, and I noticed this when he was like doing pull-ups. He had the Fullmetal Alchemist tattoo on his shoulder blade right here.
Yeah.
And he was wearing a tank top, and I was just like, no fucking way. And I walked over to him, and I'm just like, how do you get all those muscles with equivalent exchange? And he's just like, it's the whey powder, bro. And we started going on, and we started talking about Fullmetal Alchemist, and actually he turned into like my lifting buddy. Like, he'd always come at a certain time, and I'd come there too, and he'd help me out. He'd like spot me and everything, and it was cool.
Yeah, those guys that like work out because they sincerely enjoy it, but then also like enjoy anime and stuff, and they don't talk about how much they bench presses, have a good time. Those are my favorites.
Yes.
I used to actually work in a gym, not out of choice. It was out
of necessity.
It was for the scholarship, if you work 20 hours on campus a semester. It was more than that. It was like 40. But you could work, and they'd give you $4,000 for that semester. It was a really good thing. So I ended up doing it in like our gym. And most of the guys there, you could tell the environment like made people uncomfortable. It was sad.
Yeah, It's sad whenever shit like that happens.
We really need to wrap this up.
Yeah, we do. It's been 47 minutes. All right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. This was Fullmetal Alchemist episode 2. Body of the Sanctioned. Did you enjoy this episode?
Yeah, I did. I can't wait for the next one. I read the little description.
Okay.
And it said we were learning about backstory, so I'm super excited.
I told you about that. All right, so thank you, everybody, and we'll see you. Oh wait, a little bit of a end card here. If you want to watch the if you're watching the early access of this on Patreon, we appreciate your support. If you're watching this on YouTube and you want to watch this early, or if you want to watch the full version, you can check out how to access that on our Patreon. Also, you can go to our Discord where you can discuss all sorts of fun stuff with our community of over 2,000 members.
It gets hectic.
Oh yeah, you don't know the half of it. And then, of course, if you want to check out this awesome lady's channel, link in the description down below. She puts out videos pretty much every day. So
every day.
Yeah. So if you want to stay current with her and you want to stay current with us, subscribe to both of us, and you'll get the full experience of Heather Hasn't Seen. And until next time, signing off. I'm Nate.
I'm Heather.
And we'll see you later, everyone. Peace out.
Bye.
Bye.